As the fallout from Leeds United's inevitable relegation continues, Yorkshire Evening Post chief soccer writer Phil Hay assesses the importance of Leeds bouncing back to the Coca-Cola Championship at the first attempt.
I think it is pretty important. I've spoken to people at other clubs who've been in this situation. Tony Vaughan at Manchester City always says that had City not come straight back up, he doesn't know what would have happened to the club and whether or not they'd have been around for a little bit longer at that level. Sheffield Wednesday were down there for 2 seasons, managed to fight their way out of it. Nottingham Forest may come up this season, may well do the same. It's not a league to get stuck in, it's a league to get out of, much in the same way that the Championship is well. I think it's imperative that they come back up next year. I think they're overlooked in a way at Bradford. The decline has been as great, if not more severe, than Leeds United's. I think they've gone from the Premiership to League 2 in the space of 6 years, which is a pretty damning statistic. The one major difference, I think, is the difference between the fan bases of the two respective clubs. I think Leeds have an awful lot more supporters to rely on than Bradford City do, both in England, in Yorkshire, and globally as well. I think the potential of Leeds will always be bigger than the potential of Bradford City, and I think if you harness that properly, then you can achieve an awful lot with this club. I think money is the key thing. If you look at the 4 clubs who are bagging the Champions League places this season, they've all got, well, with perhaps the exception of Arsenal, they've all got pretty big backers, majorly rich businessmen. And in order for Leeds to get to that stage, back to the position of the Champions League, they're going to need the same kind of financial backing. And in that regard, it's probably a little bit ambitious to aim for that at this stage. It's a case of working the way back up the ladder, back into the Championship, and then hopefully getting up from there. Ken Bates has said he needs investment, he needs people to come forward. Once that happens, once the club have better financial support behind them, they'll move forward quickly, I think. I think it would be more attractive if the club were to own the stadium and to own the training ground. They would be serious assets that would protect the club's long-term future, serious assets to borrow against. I think at the moment Leeds lack that. They lack a squad of really serious value. But it's like everybody says, if you manage Leeds properly and you take them in the right direction, you could earn an awful lot of money out of the club and be very, very successful. And I think at some stage a businessman will look at that and realise that it's worth doing.